in. We are one day away from Friday, and I could not be happier. The weekend is almost here. So make sure you come on in so we can kind of unwind and get ready for the weekend together. Happy Juneteenth. Come on in today. We got some great topics lined up for you. We're going to be talking about a few things, and then we're going to do a second show later on tonight to get caught up on the rest of the topics. But we have some good stuff, so make sure you are ready to go. Got your popcorn, got your drinks, so we can get into some things. Welcome to Aries Rose TV, and if you're not familiar with me, my name is Aries Rose, and on this channel we talk about streaming shows, TV shows, movies, politics, world news, local news, basically anything I find interesting, I come on and discuss with my Aries crew. Tonight we're going to be talking about Ananda Lewis. You may remember her from BET Teen Summit. She was definitely an it girl in the 90s, and she has passed away at the age of 52 from cancer. So we're going to get a little bit more information on that. She did make an announcement that she had cancer before she passed away, but it's still very sad because 52 is very, very young. And if you're not familiar, for me, early passing is a particularly sensitive topic right now because on June 9th, we found out that the father of my children, my two youngest children, passed away. He was very young as well. So definitely a time to make sure you tell everybody that you care about, that you love them. Give them a hug them a little bit longer. If you are arguing or fighting, make that stuff right because there's going to come a time where you can't go back and change anything that's done. You definitely want to use the time you have right now the best way that you can. We do have a GoFundMe up because you're trying to raise money for his memorial, and whatever's left over will also help for the care of our children. So I do have that GoFundMe link on my community page. There is no amount that's too small. Any donation is greatly, greatly appreciated. I will also have that in the description box as well of this video. And then we are also going to talk about Simon Guobadia, who's the estranged husband of Portia Williams from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. He's speaking out about his detainment by ICE. And we also got to talk about Tyler Perry. He has responded to the bombshell lawsuit that was filed against him. Christian Key's allegations have been resurfacing since this lawsuit has come out about Tyler Perry. So it's looking like, right now is probably not such a great time for him, but we're going to see what he has to say about this lawsuit. And you would be familiar if you've been on a live before, but if you haven't, we like to find out if you are a part of the Aries crew. So if you are a returning Aries crew member, leave hashtag Aries crew in the comments. If you are a first time watcher, leave first time watcher in the comments. I want to give you a shout out for stopping by, spending part of your day here. Also, let me know where you're from. Let me know where you are from, what country or what state you are from in the comments. I want to see where all of my Aries crew is from. And we're going to get started on our first story here. We're going to talk about Ananda Lewis, and this is reporting from Gossip. Ananda Lewis, the beloved and trailblazing former Teen Summit and TRL host, died on June 11, 2025, after a brave battle with metastatic, might be saying that wrong, but metastatic breast cancer, and Gossip is paying homage to the original It Girl. The California-born media pioneer made her debut on BET's groundbreaking talk show Teen Summit in 1996. Let me know in the comments if you remember and or watched Teen Summit back in the day. Shortly after graduating magna cum laude from Howard University, her beauty combined with the love of our culture, unmatched charisma, and a skilled hand at handling the unpredictability of live television made Lewis one of the best in the game. But it was her heart, the rare ability to be an absolute professional while still making room for raw emotion that made her a fan favorite. More than just a pretty face, Lewis took the task of sitting down with heavy hitters like former First Lady Hillary Clinton to discuss real-life challenges faced by Black teenagers and made it look effortless. She was comfortably at home whether she was advocating for Save X or tackling heated debates on the efforts or of the effects of rap music on young people. No matter the moment, Lewis brought relatable cool girl energy and authentic insight. Her commitment to advocacy didn't end in front of the cameras, as she often used moments from her actual life to teach valuable lessons to others, including when she revealed her plan to remain abstinent for 6 months as a call to arms for other young women to rethink their relationship with X. And just gonna read a little brief snippet here from the remainder of it. And this is reporting from Gossip. Lewis stepped away from the spotlight before becoming the host of The Insider in 2004 and frequently made appearances on popular TV shows before taking time away to focus on her personal life and career in carpentry. In 2011, she welcomed her son Langston, whom she called the best thing I've ever done. In 2020, Lewis revealed in an Instagram post that she had been diagnosed with breast cancer after refusing mammograms for fear of radiation exposure. As she would later express her regret and urged other women to keep up with their screenings as, quote, prevention is the real cure, quote, for cancer. Still, the ever cool, ever transparent voice of a generation spoke candidly and left us with words to live by. And I believe this is a quote from I believe this is a quote here that was from Ananda Lewis, quote, "We're not meant to stay here forever. We come to this life, have experiences, and then we go." She wrote an essay for Essence in January. Being real about that with yourself changes how you choose to live. I completely agree with that. I don't want to spend one more minute than I have to suffering unnecessarily. That for me is not the quality of life I'm interested in. When it's time for me to go, I want to be able to look back on my life and say, I did that exactly how I wanted to, end quote. May she rest in peace. My heart goes out to her child. I definitely know that feels like, having kids of my own who don't have a parent here anymore that they are able to see. Definitely, if there's a test that you need for your age, if your family has a history of cancer or certain things, make sure you get those screenings. Early prevention is the best way to try, if there is anything wrong, to mitigate, where you may have the best chance of recovering or, getting rid of it entirely, and you may have the best chance of living. So I just encourage you to take your health seriously. Make sure you're getting those exams, trying to eat, as best you can, because life is real out here and there's people that count on you and depend on you. So, do whatever you can to make sure you can be there physically, mentally, and whatever other way you need to be there. And we're going to take a quick pause here for comments. Kids Cheatham, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate that. And as you come in, if you can like the video, it's a free way to support the channel and it goes a very, very long way. Means a lot. We're trying to reach 2,000 subscribers on here. Definitely appreciate your support to help reach that goal. Absolutely love doing this channel. Look forward to coming on and talking with you guys here on live. So thank you for giving me the space to do this. And now we're going to get into Simon Guobadia. So that is the husband or estranged husband. I'm not sure if their divorce is completed or not, of Portia Williams. And so he is speaking out about his detainment with ICE here, because he is originally from Nigeria, I believe. So he is not an American citizen here. And let's see what I can find on that, because he has recently spoke out about his feeling that maybe Portia had something to do with him being detained by ICE. Give me a second here to bring that up. Let me find that article that I had. And as I am looking that up, let me know where you are from, what country or what city you are from in the comments here. Want to see where we have different Aries crew folks at. Anyway, there we go. And let me get this back. Thanks for bearing with me. I'm a one-person show here, so I'm going to pull this info up. And we may slide in one more story about Yo Gotti and Angela Simmons, but we'll see if we have enough time for that after we get to the topics lined up here. And we will go to the Tyler Perry story here while I am looking up this one for Simon. But Tyler Perry has spoken out, and then we'll come back to the Simon Guobadia one. But Tyler Perry has spoken out about the lawsuit that was filed against him. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do a breakdown of the lawsuit. If you want me to get a copy of it and we break down the lawsuit and go over what is going on in there. Oh, here we go. I found the Simon Guobadia one, so we'll come back to Tyler here. We'll end on Tyler, but for Simon Guobadia, this is reporting from Bossip, breaks his silence about his time in ICE detention. Simon Guobadia is ready to speak out about his harrowing time in ICE detention, a move that he suspects was potentially orchestrated by his soon-to-be ex-wife Portia Williams, who recently received a peachy payout in their prenup settlement. Quote, I was not totally oblivious to the possibilities of some interference, end quote, said the businessman who wants to have a conversation with President Trump, with whom he calls Donnie, about his detainment. In February, the 61-year-old petroleum entrepreneur was detained at the Stewart Detention Center in Lupkin, Georgia, and sent back to his home country of Nigeria as part of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE deportation efforts, describing the scary incident in detail during an interview with Us Weekly published June 13th. Guobadia said the incident happened so fast, and notably a day or two before the season 16 premiere of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let me know in the comments if you think Portia may have had anything to do with Simon getting detained by ICE. I don't know if I think so, because before he was detained by ICE, I know that he was suing, trying to, because he had tried to like file to become a US citizen and that was rejected. So he was, I want to say he was like suing the government, trying to become a US citizen. So I honestly think that's what put him more on the radar than Portia, but I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you may think otherwise, and we'll get back into the article. After deboarding a flight from overseas, the African businessman revealed that he was met at the gate entrance by 7 ICE agents who immediately took his laptop and 2 phones, including one that was tied to his business in Dubai and another for his work in the US. Quote, so I had everything on me, literally a mobile office. They took those from me and I gave them passcodes so they could do their forensic investigation, if you will. After that, they basically came and told me that I was being detained and that they would be taking me in and I'll be seeing a judge at some point. So they slapped the cuffs on and I was taken away, end quote. Guobadia told US Weekly that he found the entire situation strange, especially given that his immigration status was already well documented. As previously reported, the former reality TV star first arrived in the US in 1982, but became deportable in 1985 after overstaying his visa. He returned in 1986 on a work visa, overstayed again, and soon faced a string of legal issues, starting with a 1987 plea deal for bank and credit card fraud. Ooh, sounds like he was doing a lot. Deported in 1992, he re-entered the country just weeks later with permanent residency despite his criminal record. When asked if he felt targeted, Guobadia responded with a resounding yes. Quote, yes, I felt like a target. I felt like a target because they had no reason, and it felt like a target on a number of fronts. One for sure is the new administration and new administration policies. They've heightened their targets apparently as agents are waiting, looking through flight logs for names and may have popped up on their radar and taken them into custody, end quote. Guobadia added that while he couldn't say for certain, he suspected it was possible that Williams, 43, or someone connected to her may have alerted ICE. Quote, it's possible. I just don't know. I don't have all the facts, he said. I am dealing with those behind her, the powers behind her that obviously would like to see her succeed and ensure that the investment in this person will come to fruition. So I was not totally oblivious to the possibilities of some interference, end quote. A source close to the housewife told the outlet that there was zero truth to Guobadia's theory, and she previously denied tipping off ICE during an appearance on The Breakfast Club. After being questioned at the airport, the Nigerian businessman was taken to a facility where he was informed that he would eventually appear before a judge. He was not granted bond, and he was later transported, shackled at both hands and feet, to the Stewart Detention Center, where he remained until his recent release. Okay, so it sounds like he is out now. And let's see. Guobadia said he was exhausted upon arrival, that he was so exhausted upon arrival that he slept for 2 days, reports Us Weekly. Friends and family were allowed to visit him shortly after, though he was limited to spending only 1 hour with them. Reflecting on his time in ICE detention, Guobadia described harsh and understaffed conditions, though he was initially placed in a segregated unit for safety concerns. With his own cell, he observed that many others were crammed to a cell, and that food was poor and resources stretched thin. Badia said he was given the option to join general population, but initially chose segregation to assess the situation. There, he was locked in his cell for 23 hours a day. Could you imagine being locked up for 23 hours a day and only able to come out for 1 hour? Not by choice, but because you are being limited by where you are. That's a lot. I can totally see why people lose their mind in prison, because just that confinement. I don't think we're just meant to look at walls all day. Humans are social beings. We need to like be outside. You need to have something else. I think that's partially why people that are in prison have a hard time readjusting to regular life, because it's so completely different there than what it's like on the outside, that you just morph into something other than what kind of fits into society, just because of how the prison system works. And let's see, there he was locked in his cell for 23 hours a day with just 1 hour of outdoor time, sometimes none at all if the weather was bad, before he asked to be moved to general population. While the entire experience was a nightmare, Guobadia said it made him realize that he's a pretty tough cookie. So let me know what you think in the comments. We'll definitely be keeping track of that situation here. We'll let you know when their divorce is finalized. Are you guys watching? Are you watching Real Housewives of Atlanta? Let me know if this season 16 is good. I haven't watched that show in quite a few years. I used to really like it, but since the changes and it's got a different cast, it's just got a different vibe, I have not really been that into it. But let me know if you are watching it and if it's been good. So I definitely want to get into it if it's been a pretty good season. So let me know if you have any thoughts or you watched it. And now we're going to get into Tyler Perry here. And this lawsuit is a mess. So we're going to get into this a little bit and then into his response. This is reporting from Gossip. Tyler Perry is the latest big Hollywood actor to be named in an sexual assault lawsuit. The entertainment mogul and Tyler Perry Studios are being sued for $260 million. That's crazy. For allegedly mistreating actor Derek Dixon, according to ABC News. The filing includes quid pro quo, sexual harassment, work environment harassment, sexual harassment, workplace gender violence, actual battery, actual assault, retaliation, and more. In the suit, Dixon claims he first met Perry in 2019 while working at a party he hosted. Perry later approached him and obtained his number, suggesting he might have a role for him in one of his upcoming productions, reports TMZ. Quote, Perry said it was a small role that could get a lot bigger, thereby setting up the stage in a series of escalating quid pro quo offers, Dixon alleged in the lawsuit. The role turned out to be for his show Ruthless, and thus began the strange and untoldly text message exchanges. Then in January 2020, the conversation escalated to Perry inviting Dixon over to his home under the guise of a professional meeting. The two reportedly drank together and had a friendly conversation. So at the end of the night, Perry suggested he stay in his guest room instead of making the trek back home, which is when he allegedly assaulted him. Now, Tyler Perry is a billionaire, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know in the comments if that is off. He's not a billionaire. He's very, very close to it. So what I struggle with when you have that level of money, that level of notoriety, how do you keep getting into these types of situations where there's unwanted advances? Like, there's got to be people out there that want you, that are open to what you want. I don't understand how they keep finding people that are not into that or trying to relay that to somebody, and you're just not like hearing that at all. Very strange to me. I just think he could be in a different situation than this, considering his access to money, his level of fame. And I'm sure there's people all the time that are trying to contact or be in this person's sphere that would be open to anything that they're interested in, but they never seem to gravitate towards those people. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments, or if you agree or disagree, and we'll get back into the story. Quote, before he knew what was happening, Dixon felt someone else slip into bed behind him and start rubbing Dixon's body around his inner thigh in a highly sexual and suggestive manner, end quote. The suit alleged Dixon turned around and saw that Tyler Perry was in bed with him. After that night, Dixon tried to distance himself from Perry by ignoring his texts and calls, but was pulled back into his orbit when he was offered a role in his show, The Oval. Quote, Dixon immediately understood that his job security depended on his relationship with Perry, and the lawsuit states. From this point on, Dixon worked on the constant fear of losing his job if he did not engage and endure Perry's sexual harassment. In another incident, he claims that in June 2021, they were both at his Georgia house, and Perry pulled down his underwear and grabbed his backside while asking for a goodnight hug. What? That's crazy, despite telling him to stop. Now, this is all alleged, but I truly hope there is no truth to that, because Tyler Perry is very, very much a grown man, and you should know better. And you can generally tell if somebody is open to your advances or interested in you. So I truly don't know how you're missing the mark unless you just don't care and you're not paying attention here. But this person whom he allegedly did the things to was paying attention, and they're saying that he came with receipts. He was keeping his contacts and communication that he had with Perry. So I don't know if that was provided and stuff in that lawsuit, but I would imagine that if I were a lawyer and you approached me about suing Tyler Perry, given his level, his money, you're going to have to show me something before I want to go and put my name to a case suing somebody like him. So I'm imagining he must have had some receipts or some pretty good information to prove his point for this lawsuit. Let's get into it a little bit more here. Well, rather grabbed his backside while asking him for a goodnight hug, despite telling him to stop. So it sounds like he told Tyler to stop and he still did it. Quote, rather than arguing, Dixon complied, at which point Perry reached down and yanked Dixon's underwear down from behind. He claims in the lawsuit stated Perry then began to vigorously grab, grope, and play with Dixon's backside in an sexual manner. Dixon was in his birthday suit, stunned and seized by tremendous fear, end quote. Wow. Talk about painting a picture of how you felt and what that moment was like. That's quite a thought right there. As part of a mountain of evidence pointing to the inappropriate relationship, Dixon provided flirty text messages from him, which CNN says included, "What's it going to take for you to have guiltless X?" Wow. And I love how I feel right now, but I don't like being in a way where he desires physical interaction with another person. Wow. Um, I'm really shocked for again, all alleged, so I don't know if this is true, but for a person like Tyler Perry, who is an employer, who knows, if we've learned nothing from this Diddy situation, how these things, especially in this day and age with the social media and everybody, keeping receipts on everyone and all that stuff, you would think he would know better than to put himself in a situation like this. Um, Shocking. And 260 million is a lot of money. I'm very curious to see if he is going to go to trial with this, or if he is going to, or if he's going to try and settle. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think he is better off trying to settle this lawsuit, or should he let it go to court? What do you think here? Do you think that this is just a setup and they're just trying to get money from Tyler and the stuff was misinterpreted? Or if Tyler was maybe coming on a little bit too strong here, or trying to use employment as a carrot to get other types of things from people here? Now, do y'all remember when Christian Keys came out? I want to say it was last year, and he talked about his experience in Hollywood with being propositioned to do stuff or being offered money to do stuff, even though he is not into that lifestyle with engaging in that activity with other men, but he was still propositioned, even when, according to him, he made it clear he was not interested. So that's coming back up again. And people, and it happened at the time as well, and people are questioning whether or not he was talking about Tyler Perry. And they're kind of comparing what he was saying to what has come out in this lawsuit from Derek Dixon. And I don't know, again, that if there's any truth or not, but there's some similarities, to say the least, here in what they're talking about. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments here on that. And then we're going to take a moment here for comment we got from Daniel Courtney. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate you. And if you're on the live, if you can do me a favor and hit that like button. It's a free way to support the channel, and it goes a long way. It means a whole lot. We're trying to reach 2K on here. If you have not already done so, we'd love to have you a part of the Aries crew. All you got to do is hit that subscription button, that notification bell, so you can find out every time I go live, post on the community page, upload videos, shorts, all of that good stuff. And we will be on live again tomorrow as well. It's going to be a little bit later live, but we are going to be going live tomorrow. It may be from a campground. Thinking about doing that for the weekend here, so you might see a little bit different scenery for that video. And it looks like from the response that I could find here, Tyler Perry is denying the claims in this lawsuit. He's calling them false claims and a shakedown. So we will be following this like we're following the Diddy trial as well. There was no Diddy trial today because it was Juneteenth, but it's supposed to resume on Friday, and it should be Brendan Paul, the rug mule, that's going to be going up to testify on Friday. So make sure you are subscribed to Aries Rose TV so we can get those updates, because I have no doubt that's going to be very interesting testimony here. And if this Tyler Perry lawsuit goes to court, I have no doubt it's going to be very interesting, and we will be here following that. Thank you so much for joining the live. Appreciate you coming on and spending part of your day here. We are on Instagram. If you haven't already done so, follow us there at Aries Rose TV, and I'll follow you back. We are posting on there different movie reviews, different pop culture, world news, different things going on. So that's another way where you can connect with us. And we will see you on Friday. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, day, depending on where you are. Look forward to seeing y'all, and then we're going to have a great weekend as well. Take care, and thanks for watching.